Guys, today we'll be talking about the box office, and yep, it's another very bad week for Hollywood. Obviously, Hollywood continues to struggle. This is why we need an alternative to Hollywood. We need to have an alternative in Hollywood that isn't extremely woke, that makes normal ass movies that will actually make money. Okay, because the past couple of years, Hollywood has kind of just struggled. Okay, tons and tons of franchises have basically fallen and dropped to the ground. We're not gonna count Paddington Pook as a British movie, obviously as well, but the star of the show, Brave New World, is a flop. Yep, Brave New World dropped 68% at the box office, making 141 million domestically and 148 million internationally. This movie isn't really doing too well. And that means there's a possibility this movie might even break even at the box office, considering how poorly this movie is doing. Likelihood this movie may not even pass $400 million globally, and that will be a pretty big embarrassment for Marvel as well, and Disney as well. Okay, as well. And we all know the budget for this movie is way higher than it actually says. Or the $80 million. Like The Little Mermaid, they said it was $200 million. Actually, it was $250 million. That was the real budget for The Little Mermaid. I think this one's budget is more close to like $250 million to even $300 million for this movie. But let's do some comparisons, okay? Yeah. So can do a comparison between the Captain America movies, obviously as well. I think we're not even gonna put Civil War now, because Civil War, it made a way more money because it had the... Let's include Civil War. Yeah. So it adjusted all of the Captain America movies for inflation. Yeah. Brave New World is the lowest performing movie in the franchise. Yes. The lowest performing movie in the entire franchise. And the first Captain America did have a pretty big drop to 34 million. But Brave New World has already dropped below that at 141 million. Brave New World eventually made up $124 million globally, domestically, as well here. You know, Winter Soldier had a pretty sizable drop as well, and Civil War did too, but Brave New World did even worse than the first one. Yes, the first one all the way from 2011. Okay. Yeah. And we can also put in another movie in. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. As well, because you can include up to 5 movies on this here. Quantumania. Here. Oh, it's doing even worse than Quantumania. It's doing even worse than Quantumania, because if you look at Quantumania made 31 million. Brave New World did 28 million. Quantumania ended up making barely over $200 million. Brave New World will be lucky if it even hits $200 million. If it does, it will be barely above $200 million. Barely. Okay. I'm thinking around $190 million finish for Brave New World at the end of its box office run. And that's not a very good number for Disney. I think Disney wanted this to make like $300 million domestically and make around $600 million internationally at the bare minimum. But the fact that this movie is performing below the bare minimum, the media said like with The Little Mermaid, this was a huge opening. This was a big opening. This movie is gonna be a huge success. That proved all the suds and haters wrong. That Brave New World can be a successful movie. Well, they're eating crap right now because Brave New World isn't doing too well. Box office wise. Okay. Brave New World isn't really doing too well box office wise, which means despite them doing the best they can to quote unquote own the charts, to own the, incels, well, guess what? They were wrong once again, and Brave the World, not even the normies want to go see this movie. Not even the normies. And you know the funny thing about Brave the World? Most of the people who went to go see this movie went to go see it because they wanted to see Red Hulk. Okay, that is the vast majority of people who went to go see this movie. No one's like, yeah, I really want to see the sidekick play Captain America. Said no one ever. No one ever wanted, it's kind of like them making Robin Batman. Okay, the only thing that they can use a narrative against people is say, oh, but you're racist if you don't like this movie. That's the only narrative they really have for this movie. Is if you don't like this movie, you're racist. But that doesn't really work because guess what? No one cares. This doesn't work anymore, Disney. This doesn't work anymore, Hollywood. You can't just call people racist and expect them to go see the movie. Okay, the same trick doesn't work every single time. Okay, and we're seeing this in plain action here. Okay, plain action. Brave New World is a flop. Okay, as well. Next is The Monkey. So The Monkey is a new horror movie. It's doing alright. I think people are getting sick of Stephen King. Obviously, given his comments and stuff. And really, Stephen King did to himself. Like, I remember there was a time when everybody loved Stephen King, his books, his movies that based off his books as well. When I was younger, I actually used to think Stephen King was a director. Yeah, I used to think that Stephen King was a Hollywood director. But it is pretty funny that Stephen King movies are not doing poorly at the box office. Wah, 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 wah. Stephen King movies are struggling. Wah, 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 wah. Yeah. Yeah, but The Monkey is a big flop. Big flop. It's gonna not make much money. Oh, the budget's only $4 million. Okay, that they weren't really expecting this movie to make a lot of money. Okay. So The Monkey didn't really do too well. Next is Paddington Peru, which continues to flop and bomb at the box office. Yeah. Actually, this movie's now making more money internationally now. That's $150 million. This movie might actually break even. Okay. Okay. But Paddington Peru is not really doing too well. It's not doing too well in America. We can compare this to other Paddington movies, which I think is the best comparison. Obviously. So it doesn't for Fraser is doing the same as Paddington 2 in America. Okay. But these movies are doing worse and worse per entry. Worse and worse per entry. These movies are doing worse and worse per entry. I'm not saying these are bad movies. I'm just reporting on the box office like I'm doing. Okay. Paddington 1 made $100 million domestically, but these movies are not really doing as well as they used to. That's just an absolute fact. So, these movies typically have good legs, but Yeah. But yeah, Paddington Peru isn't doing too well. Okay, now let's go over the rest of the movies very quickly. Dogman. Dogman has officially broken even, guys. Dogman has officially broken even. Yep. Dogman has officially broken even. So DreamWorks, you won. This movie has officially broken even. Not a very huge success, but the movie has officially broken even. Next is Nisa, which has made $8.1 billion globally, mostly in China, obviously. Yeah, the vast majority of the box office for this movie is from China. The vast majority as well. Not really doing too well outside of China, but this movie is making 99% of its box office from China at this point. I think it was inevitable a Chinese movie would make $1 billion, but 2 billion, which I think no one was expecting as well. Hard Eyes, which is not doing too well still. 71% drop. This movie's cooked. It's cooked. Yep, it's cooked. Next is Mufasa. Yeah, this movie's still making money somehow. I just don't understand how Disney's able to make tons of people turn out to go see those city ass movies. I really don't understand. But that Mufasa's made $7 billion globally. It's over. We're getting a third Lion King. The Unbreakable Boy, a huge box office failure. This was supposed to be released like 2 years ago, but it's not really doing too well. Next is One of Them Days, which continues to add small amount of money to its profits. So, and as Love Hurts, which still isn't really doing too well at the box office. This movie they even passed its original budget. So, and then we have a bunch of other movies that dropped as well. And yep, goodbye.